The crowd really wanting to see some mortar here. Maybe we'll have Pedro have the mortar right here for the Hog Rider. No, he goes for the bats and the goblins. It still gets a hit though.
Wow, and a lot of elixir spent from Pandora right there. The snowball, earthquake, he's gonna be down a lot of elixir. Pedro, how is he going to want to abuse that? Goes with a little prince in the back. We should be seeing a decent push right now from Pedro. I mean, he could have the Royal Delivery as well, but Pandora's using up all of his spells.
I can't help but think that maybe Pandora got a little bit lucky there. If Pedro had the correct cards in hand, like the Goblin Giant, to punish that massive elixir spend at the beginning, this could be game over already, but instead, Pedro not having the right cards to punish, he has to cycle out the little prince and that rage, and we're in more of an even game now.
Pedro going to still go in with the Goblin Giant, even though he did have that most likely poor cycle early on. And this Tesla plus Knight plus Skellies, these are all going to put in a lot of work. But again, I mean, he was just down so much. Can this bowler get taken out by the splash from the Firecracker? Great defense from Pandora. No panic whatsoever. Gives up one little spear goblin chuck, but not too bad. Pedro forced out to defend.
Fisherman in the middle with a boulder will get King to activation. Will it stop the hog hit? Yes, it does. Wow, fantastic defense. But Pedro's offense here, this counter push is looking crazy. If you can get a Goblin Giant here, it could be game over.
I mean,
I'm not sure he hasn't cycled though.
Are you kidding me? We're gonna defend like that? I was going to say, oh, why does he not Fisherman try and pull the hog into the King Tower? But it really just doesn't matter if you can make placements like that. The bowler, in order to push the hog away from the tower, great placements from Pedro right there. You have to be so impressed.
Ability from the little prince, gonna get that Guardian out there to make sure the Firecracker is not splashing on that tower. And I can't help but once again just point out how Pedro's cycle has been a little bit messed up this entire game. Pandora reaping the benefits of that here with a bit of a damage lead. And I love the opposite lane pressure though. You cannot always go same lane in this matchup versus that bowler.
Right there, Goblins to defend, does not have to worry about the pre-log, considering Pandora does not have a log in his deck. So Pedro just going to utilize that bowler very, very well and sets himself up with another bowler already. Two big purple guys on the map.
Yeah, not only that, a little prince as well. He's making sure no hog raiders are allowed to go anywhere. So forcing Pandora to actually use his elixir defensively on these Teslas to just prepare for that defense. But here comes the push from Pedro.
And right here, Fisherman going to yank itself into the range of the Tesla. This is looking like a mighty fine push, but again, another Tesla placed down on the map. We're just gonna see if one of these bowlers can get any sort of value, but Pandora putting on a clinic right now, defending absolutely perfectly, and again, Ice Spear, but that is a mistake. No, not going to matter. Will want to make sure that his placements don't take out the Teslas in the future.
Evo Knight at the bridge. Evo Bats on defense plus a little prince. I love the snowball onto these bats though, and this hog rider is getting some massive damage. Pedro needs to counter push here, but it's so difficult versus these Firecrackers. Pedro's last spell here is lightning, which means this Firecracker is getting massive amounts of value.
Right here, these Firecrackers flying away from the Little Prince, so that way the Little Prince is taken out fully. 1 minute and 30 seconds left, and Pedro just has not had an offensive push whatsoever. These Goblin Giants are getting taken out so easily.
Here comes our first lightning of the game. Rage as well. This Goblin Giant's pretty healthy going towards tower, but the Ice Spear plus Firecracker and the Knight is doing a great job of controlling. Earthquake wipes out all the Goblins as well. This is a masterclass of micro interactions from Pandora.
Yeah, Pedro still trying to look for just any opportunity to go in. Bats on top of the Firecracker, trying to take that out. Does so nicely. 900 HP separating the two players. And I mean, really, what are you supposed to do? He's tried going double bowler. He's tried doing everything and anything. Right here, Fisherman to set up the hog, going to the King Tower. Going to defend it beautifully, but he can't do anything on offense.
We have two Goblin Giants on the board. Maybe he can get it done right now. Lightning is going to drop right now, hitting absolutely everything. Range up, Goblin Giant is locked on tower. Oh, Pedro making the absolute fantastic comeback. I can't even speak. This is insane.
The Ice Spear gets taken out, not going to make the jump. Pedro come from behind. Victory, triple elixir is all he was waiting for. And Pedro, the lightning, the beautiful lightning, taking out the Tesla, the Firecracker, a little bit of damage on top of the crowd tower. He was waiting for that moment.
Yeah, he waited for that moment.
Game number 2 underway. Pedro going to be running Miner. Juicy, you've talked about how Miner has struggled so far in these World Finals, but I feel like it was Pedro that was one of the players that was able to have success with it. Am I crazy? What's going on with that?
You're absolutely right. Pedro was able to win a match with Miner Poison. I also want to point out how Lightning is now not going to be available for Pedro. So I think he's going to lean on this Miner Poison, and it seems like maybe he's going to get a decent matchup, but I'm not sure though. Pandora actually going to be using, I believe, some Recruit bridge spam here.
Oh, that is right. We've seen this deck before. I think it was on day number 1, Lumberjack, Skeleton Dragons, and there we go. Crowd erupting right now because the Mortar is finally played by one of these players. Mighty Miner plus the Ice Spirit will come down and should be able to take it out very, very nicely. No Mortar shot onto the tower, but that's not a problem. Pedro just going to reset, but this time with the Mighty Miner on the board. Goblin Cage in response from Pandora.
I cannot help but be just as excited as the crowd for this Mortar because Pedro is the best Miner Mortar Poison player in the game. It is his best deck. He's finished on Miner so many times, so well. And Pandora, on the other hand, using more of a aggressive offensive deck, I can't but think that maybe Pedro's got a pretty good situation for himself here. Although you do have to watch out for the arrows' value. Those arrows are going to do so well versus the minions and the evil archers throughout this match.
Wow, great interaction knowledge from Pedro. And will we get another? I mean, you said it yesterday. It always gets that shot. Mother Witch going to come out right there in response. Archers not going to focus on top of the Mother Witch, so Pandora going to clean that up nicely. But Pedro, I love this deck choice. I feel like we've seen this Mortar Minions Goblins variation sometimes this weekend. Instead, going with the Evo to Archers, no little Prince action. Pedro with a huge lead going against Royal Recruits Ram Rider.
Minions in the back, whereas Pedro does have the Mortar, which has done great for him on offense so far. As we head in this double and triple elixir, Mortar is not going to be the building of choice that you'd like to see for defenses versus these recruits. You'd much rather have a bomb tower in this situation.
Right there, will the Ram Rider be placed down in time? I believe so, and it absolutely does. Fireball going to come out, take out most of these troops, but there we go. Mortar getting another shot. Pedro just knows how to have a Mortar find the tower.
Evil Recruits are on the board. Mighty Miner ability taking some shields off. They're all going to start charging. Ice Spirit perfectly able to stop every single one of them. Recruit gets a little bit of damage to the left. Will we see that on the right as well? Yes, we will.
Wow, 2 shots coming in from the Royal Recruits Evolution. Pedro, I mean, it's hard to expect perfection from him, but we always do. And right there, just a slight mishap with those interactions.
I love these Skeleton Dragons over the river. Rather than going for a Fireball onto that, not only does he get these Skelly Dragons down, but they also are able to get a little bit of damage and apply a little bit more pressure.
Good Ice Spirit jump right there, going to defend the right lane very, very easily. These minions are getting a ton of value, but he will have to be careful about that Mother Witch. Mother Witch placed over the middle, unlocking an offense that we have not seen very often throughout this tournament.
Evil Archers going to be protected on the left, but Fireballed out on the right. This Mother Witch is a pain to deal with for Pedro, but he's still... Wait, no, he's actually down in damage now. Wait, he's actually losing at this point.
Right there, almost into triple elixir. How does he want to respond? Mighty Miner over the middle, and I don't know if this death damage is going to be able to work. It does for most of the troops, but not all of them. Miner comes down just in time. Look at the left lane. The left lane, Goblin Brawler on top of the tower.
And the Ram Rider.
Lane. Oh!
The Mortar just barely gets down in time. Fireball inbound, Evil Archers. He's stayed alive for now, but he has only 47 seconds left to make this comeback.
Miner minions at the bridge. And I mean, he's going to be able to get a little bit of damage, but Pandora controls his own destiny at this point. Mother Witch cycled behind the crown tower. Left side low, right side low. How does Pandora want to attack?
If Pedro wins this game, that would be one of the most fantastic matches I've ever seen, but he has a lot to do in only 20 seconds. The tower is down to 500 HP at this point, but Pandora only needs 2 more fireballs.
Right there, log plus poison, and the Miner going in the back.
Miner is caught! Fireball inbound! Will the log do more? Another poison here, arrows in, 3 seconds! Who's gonna win this match? And Pedro gets a 2-0 sweep!
How does he get it down in time? Poison! He cycled those poisons so quickly! swear, he had 7 seconds left in the game. The first poison goes down, the log goes down, the 3-card cycle gets another poison. How does he do it? What did you say, one of the greatest matches ever? I think that's what we just saw.
I am speechless yet again. Pedro, a rookie, his first World Finals ever, taking down Pandora, his third one. I mean,